Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is another how to drive a stick shift vehicle. I believe this is lesson 29. I don't know how much I'll be talking in this one. Thing is, I'm in a whole nother county from where I live. The county I live in, I'm not in that particular county. I'm going to be driving to it. Key in. Now right now the vehicle's in first gear. Before you start driving a stick shift, I recommend this when you're learning, get in it. You know, the engine doesn't have to be on. Practice doing this. Practice clutch pedal in. Practice first, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. Practice doing that for a few minutes, whatever, until you get comfortable with it. Now, in order, no matter if the vehicle is in gear or if it's in neutral, like that, in order to start any manual vehicle, you have to push the clutch pedal in. So the clutch pedal's in. Now, if you do not have the clutch pedal in, you go to start this. Doesn't start. Clutch pedal in, starts. If it was in gear, most of the time when I start mine, it's in gear. If it was in gear, I would keep the clutch pedal in, put it in neutral. That way it did this. You know, that way it doesn't do that. All right. So let's get to the driving portion. As I said, I'm in a parking lot right now. I'm not going to drive around the parking lot because it's packed, but to start this video, I'm in a parking lot. Reverse, backing out of the parking spot. The reason I'm not talking a whole lot right now is because I'm trying to get to a place that's kind of open, relatively open, before I start talking a whole lot. Not to an real open place, but I'm not in an intersection area now. So I will say, if you notice when I was taking off, every single time I was in first gear. Some people have said you can take off from second gear, and I've done it for videos and I've seen it done. But I say this many times, you have a first gear for a reason. Just like I skip gears on occasion, but not often. Get to that later on here, but taking off from first gear, I take off from first gear because you take off from first gear. 0 to 10 miles an hour is first gear. 10 to 20 is second. 20 to 30 is third. 30 to 40 is fourth. Anything above 40 miles an hour is fifth gear. You have to keep an eye on your RPMs too, because your RPMs, you shift most people have told me between 2,500 and 3,000 RPMs. Some people have said between 2,000 and 2,500 RPMs. I feel like you can shift in there between 2,000 and 3,000 RPMs. Most of the time, I shift at between 2,000 and 2,500. Sometimes I shift it up to 3,000. It just depends. When you go to take off, some people have said this, and I've done this before, but some people have said when you go to take off in a manual vehicle, you put it in first gear and you slowly let off the clutch pedal, and the vehicle will take off, and then you hit the gas pedal. Or the second way of doing it is give it a tiny little bit of gas and slowly let off the clutch pedal. That's the way I like to take off, is giving it a little bit of gas and slowly letting off the clutch pedal. When you shift, I've seen videos where people say you don't have to use the clutch pedal to shift. You can just, if you time it just right and do it just right, you can just shift. Okay, yeah, I've seen those videos. I do not do that. You have a clutch pedal for a reason. Use it whenever you want to go from first into second, or from second into third, third into fourth, fourth into fifth, or even put it in reverse. Use the clutch pedal. Find the bite point, use the clutch pedal. And I was going to say this as well. When you take off, I said, from my perspective, you give it a little bit of gas and slow it off the clutch pedal, like I'm doing right now. Well, in terms of reverse, I do the same exact thing. I give it a tiny little bit of gas and slowly let off the clutch pedal. Right there, I was doing 15 miles an hour if it was in neutral, so I shifted it into second, and then now I'm in third, fourth. Fifth. Downshifting now, because I want to cover that. To downshift, you're basically allowing the vehicle to slow down by itself. Downshifting is like if you're in fifth gear doing 55 mile an hour or 50 mile an hour, whatever, you can downshift into fourth gear and the vehicle will slow down by itself. The way I like to do that is I no faster than 55 mile an hour to downshift into fourth gear. Give me 1 second. I may have taken a wrong turn somewhere, but that's okay. I know where I'm at. I just don't know what street I'm supposed to take right at the moment. But no, I don't like to be any faster, going any faster than 55 mile an hour to downshift into fourth gear. No faster than 45 to downshift into third gear. No faster than 35 to downshift into second gear. And I do not downshift, even though I've done it for videos, I do not downshift into first gear when I'm downshifting. Just don't feel it's necessary. You can do it however you want. Put it in neutral because I'm going to be waiting a moment. I'm at a red light. The reason I did that was because I was just taking off my sunglass clip because the sun is behind some clouds now. I was going to skip gears right there, but I decided against it because I wanted to talk to you about skipping gears. I said I do that occasionally, not often. Why? Because as I said, you have a clutch pedal, you have, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, however many gears you have in your manual vehicle, you have that many for a reason. Use them. I skip gears. It depends on the situation. When I skip gears, 2 ways I do it are I go from first to second to third to fifth, or from first to second to fourth to fifth. Those are the only 2 ways I skip gears. I have gone from taken off from second gear and gone directly into fourth gear. I've gone from first to third to fifth. I've gone from I think that's the only 2 ways. I've gone from first to third to fifth. I've taken off from second, gone directly into fourth. I've done those things for videos, but I don't do that on a regular basis. And like I said, I skip gears occasionally. It just depends on the situation. If I'm in a spot where the speed limit is going from like 30 to 50 or 55, I'll skip gears. Or, it just depends. In terms of downshifting, I also try to be careful about not doing that too often, because if you downshift, there's a slight chance that the person behind you, they won't see brake lights. They may not realize you're slowing down. And, so downshifting, maybe you might get rear-ended. It just depends. People are supposed to be more aware than that, but you can't depend on other people to, you can't rely on the people around you hoping that they know, knowing you're driving a stick shift and downshifting. You gotta, it's common courtesy, and it's also just, being aware, making sure that, you're not putting yourself in a position to get into a wreck. One time I remember I downshifted, the person didn't know I was slowing down and almost hit me. That's why I'm careful about when I downshift. There's multiple different ways of slowing down and or stopping in a manual vehicle as well. First and most common is to push the clutch pedal in, put the vehicle in neutral like it is right now, and then when you're slowing down and or stopping, you hit the brake. The second, and slightly more advanced in my opinion, is to push the clutch pedal in, and then when you go to slow down and or stop, push the brake. Similar to that is simultaneously pushing the clutch pedal and the brake pedal in. But the most advanced is to downshift, in my opinion. You may feel differently. even though it's the most advanced, it's honestly the one I enjoy doing the most. And for that, use your clutch pedal, downshift accordingly. But as I said, when I go to downshift, I do not downshift into first gear. I have done it for videos, but I don't do it at all outside of that because I don't feel like it's necessary. The most I have downshifted to outside of a YouTube video is second gear. This video is going to be a little bit longer than anticipated. I took a wrong turn, but I know where I'm at now. It happens. Most of them I know where my turns are, where I need to go, but made a mistake. It is what it is. Just in case I forget to do this, I'm going to try to remember to do this regardless, but I'm going to tell you about it now. When I go to park this vehicle, it's a manual vehicle, I do not use the transmission as a kickstand. Some people do. I do not. You can. I've done it to see, to try it, but if I'm on a surface like this, I put the vehicle in first gear with the parking brake up. If I'm on a surface like this, then I put the vehicle in reverse with the parking brake up. If I'm on a completely flat surface, I put the parking brake up and put the vehicle in first gear. Do not use the transmission as a kickstand. You can do it however you want when you learn how to drive a stick shift. These videos that I make on how to drive a stick shift, these are me telling you how I drive my manual vehicle. This is my everyday driver. It's a 2007 Mazda 6 4-cylinder 5-speed with a 2.3 liter engine. And that is, I'm segueing into what I was going to say next. Earlier I said 0 to 10 was first gear, 10 to 20 was second gear, 20 to 30 was third gear, 30 to 40 was fourth, and anything above 40 was fifth gear. That is this vehicle. It's a 2.3 liter engine. I had a Honda Civic that was 02, and it was a 1.9 liter engine. I was already in fifth gear by the time I got to 40 miles an hour. That was that car. I had a 99 Honda Accord that had a 2.3 liter engine and drove identical to how this one drives. But I've driven bigger manual vehicles before. One of them was a V8. I believe it was a Hemi, and it was a 5-speed, but you can go a good bit faster in the lower gears in that one